Good evening and welcome to the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. Tonight we are live from Studio Vanguard and we are linked in with the following repeaters: Flagship, Toccoa, Jersey, Noonan, Lula, Watkinsville, Columbus, Peachtree, Rome, Salacoa, Zebulon, Dallas, Ocala, McDonough, Cades Cove, Lookout Mountain, Fort Mountain, White Oak Mountain, Mount Roosevelt, Georgetown, Chattanooga 700, Ottawa, and of course our VoIP service, Zello. Tonight our RF coverage is approximately 41,000 square miles. This net takes place every Thursday evening at 7:30. I would like to thank everyone who has made the North Georgia GMRS the most expansive and active GMRS network in the country. Your net control tonight is Atlanta 750, WRMR 367. My name is Jeff.
And Blue Ridge 63, WRWM 344. My name is Mike.
On the net, you can talk about your day's activities, radio equipment, or anything you think we'd like to hear. This is a family-based network, so we encourage you to get your family involved. Guest check-ins are welcome from anyone with a valid FCC call sign. Once the floor is open, it is permissible to address other members of the net by their name or tactical unit number. FCC call signs are only required when you sign in and sign out of the net. Also, be sure to tune in to our YouTube channel, which we are streaming as of right this minute. And you can follow along, or even better, tune in after the net and watch your appearance on the network, and hear how you sound to us right here in Studio Vanguard. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment so we know you're watching. These interactions mean the most to help our new channel grow. The topic for tonight is gift ideas for radio nerds, which categorize that how you would like. Mike says he's going to own that.
Yeah, I think we fit that category.
All right, we'll go with that. So the normal chain of events for this evening should be catch up with Kate. Kate had some dental work done and her mouth is a little swollen, so we are going to do...
Uh-oh.
What are we doing? Mustard with Mike?
Mustard with Mike.
For our condiments section?
I guess so.
All right, let's...
It just doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, it does not.
All right, let's mustard.
Yeah.
Ketchup.
Well,
mustard.
It's just me and you tonight, so we got to work with what we got.
That's right.
All right, let's reset, and you can rattle off the announcements for us.
All right. I will do my best to do Atlanta 751 justice with her announcements, but bear with me. I'm sure I won't do it as well as she does. The next Wednesday luncheon at Taco Mac will be... Is this the right... I thought the lunch section was later.
No, you're good.
Will be Saturday, the second Saturday in December. That'll be the 14th. Join the Rabbit Hole Gang at 11 a.m. on December 14th at Taco Mac. The Kennesaw Group will meet for their next lunch January the 14th at noon and continue the second Tuesday of every month at the Old Town Tavern and Grill at 2500 Cobb Parkway Northwest. It's around the block from the McCollum Airport. Please reach out to Ed, Atlanta557 on the air or via email. His email is wrqg806@gmail.com if you're planning to attend so that they can make sure they have enough seats for everyone. The Northeast Bunch will have their lunch meetup at Rooster's Cafe in Dahlonega Wednesday, December 18th at 11 a.m. All NGGMRS members are welcome to attend. Bobby notes here, hopefully if the weather permits, they'll be able to get out on the patio. If you have any questions or need additional information, reach out to Atlanta 403 or Joe, Gainesville 44. The Peachtree Corners Brunch Bunch, that's a mouthful, Brunch Bunch, will be meeting December 21st at JR's Log House Restaurant. That's at 6601 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard in Peachtree Corners. They plan to arrive around noon. Breakfast there is served until 2 o'clock on Saturday. You can take a look at the menu at jrsloghouse.com. Pamela notes here there will be some surprises in store for everyone who comes, including if you bring a +1. So bring your smiling faces, and they look forward to seeing you there. All right, moving along, we have some updates on our upcoming net schedule. The annual Santa Claus net is happening this coming Monday, December 16th.
No, not this coming.
Is it the week after this Monday? It's the week after this Monday. A week from this coming Monday, December 16th. Stay tuned for more details, but we do want to get the word out right now for our younger members and ask that you all be gathering the children, grandchildren, and others to not miss this opportunity to talk directly with Santa at the North Pole. Let me break. For the kids participating, they do not need a tactical unit number or a membership, but a licensed GMRS user can and should supervise and assist the child as needed. All the youth are welcome and encouraged to ask Santa any questions that they have about the magic of Christmas and to tell Santa what they want most for Christmas. That's cool. We participated in that with the boys last year. They had a lot of fun. You don't get to talk to Santa very often.
No, and the other thing, if anybody just want to have an idea how it plays out, we did live stream it last year. So
That's right.
You can see how the Santa net went down last year with some of the youth members. If you don't know if your child is ready for it, or you kind of get the feel for it. That,
Yeah.
You know, maybe my child is ready. I just need to help him a little bit and maybe translate some things.
Yeah, exactly. Or just help hold the PTT.
That's right.
Something that simple. It's a fun time. Hope you'll all make an effort to get your kids, grandchildren, any other youth members in your life involved a week from this coming Monday. Continuing with upcoming nets on Tuesdays, the northern region of our network is set for the Skywarn net. This is a training net for Skywarn spotters and is available only on the northern portion. That's the Tennessee area region of the network. Wednesdays, there's a short ERC net at 8 p.m. This is a roll call net and is closed to NGGMRS members. This is for ERC members only. Unless you're a member, please refrain from checking in from that net. And then there's also, I guess, there's a net on Thursdays, every Thursday. I don't know if it's very interesting. It's probably the least interesting that we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's see, we got two more to get through here.
Well, three. You skipped the ladies' net.
Have I?
In the blue.
Oh, I did. I didn't see that one. Okay, so let me go back to the ladies' net. The ladies' New Year's net will be January 6th, 2025. Check-ins start at 7:30 p.m. The topic for the first net of the year will be New Year's resolutions for the ladies. So that's January 6th, 7:30 p.m. The Friday Night at 9 Simplex Challenge continues. Takes place every Friday starting at 8 p.m. on the Monument Repeater. Your hosts are Dana, Atlanta 250, and Jonathan, Gainesville 58. You can join them to test your radio's reach in the world of Simplex and find out who your Simplex neighbors are. They hope to hear you on that net and practice the plan. And last but not least, the Rabbit Hole Net is this Sunday and every other Sunday. Early check-ins for the Rabbit Hole Nets are 7 p.m., and the net officially kicks off at 7:30. Lisa, Dallas 21, let us know that there's not an official topic as of yet, but I did see a Facebook post making mention of catching up on all the things that they've learned in the preparedness community throughout 2024. So if you'd like to take part in the Preppers Net, the Rabbit Hole, that's this Sunday and every other Sunday at 7 p.m. All right, I think I got through all the nets. Let me break. The Chattanooga Amateur Radio Club continues to offer free classes and workshops on a variety of topics. You can check out their website, w4am.net, for a new list of classes and workshops coming up soon. Speaking of upcoming events and things, if you have any upcoming events, gatherings, lunches, workshops,
Questions,
comments, send an email to kate@nggmrs.org.
And please have any of those things that you would like added to the script in by Tuesday, so we have time to prepare the script, and then we'll get it on the air for you on Thursday.
All right, very good. What's next?
Let's go to Julie for some tips.
All right, let's break and we'll come right back.
This is WQIR 514 Atlanta 947. My name is Julie with this week's New User Tips and Operating Procedures segment. This week on the New User Tips and Operating Procedures, we will talk about why GMRS and why it is the fastest growing segment of licensed two-way radio. North Georgia GMRS Network has seen significant growth in the recent years. We attribute this to two things. First, the infrastructure that Atlanta 60 built with the theory that if he builds it, we will come. Well, he did, and so did we. Gary's vision of a large connected network is the foundation we've built on, and we've found the high-quality commercial-grade equipment found at all of the North Georgia GMRS Network repeater sites. This has fostered high-quality radio users who make up the membership of the North Georgia GMRS Network. Second, many events in recent history have raised concerns over the conventional communications plant and its reliability in the event of severe weather, natural disasters, or attacks on infrastructure systems. One such attack was the Nashville bombing on December 25, 2020. The result of this large vehicle-based bomb was significant destruction of the AT&T building, resulting in communications outage for cell phones and internet services that took weeks to restore. More recently, a nationwide outage affected Verizon users on June 4, 2024. And before that, in February, a national outage affected Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. These events are always followed by a notable increase in GMRS licenses issued by the FCC. We believe these events raise concerns that if a major catastrophe were to occur, our cell phones may let us down. Let me break. GMRS radio in the North Georgia area has the benefit of a large and connected repeater system which gives users a very large footprint of coverage. However, GMRS growth is happening outside of our network as well. We have seen other repeater networks come onto the scene and grow. Some have approached us for advice. Some have modeled themselves after the structure of North Georgia GMRS Network, and some have found completely different ways of operating. One thing that sets our network apart is our use of commercial-grade repeaters. There may be other factors that drive new users to get GMRS license. For instance, many may have wanted to become a ham and then learned that GMRS doesn't require a test in order to obtain a license. This is a great entry point into two-way radio because it's inexpensive and it exposes a user to the magic of radio before investing time and study into an amateur license. And I'm sure there are many more reasons for the growth of GMRS radio. Family farms, off-roading adventures, hiking, camping, traveling are just a few of the many possibilities for GMRS radio. And with so many uses, it's no surprise that GMRS radio is a fast-growing segment of two-way radio. These are just a few new user tips and operating procedures. I hope you'll tune in next week for my next episode. And remember, if you have any questions or suggestions for new user tips and operating procedures segment, send me a note at julie@nggmrs.org. We are North Georgia GMRS Network. And this is WQIR 514 Atlanta 947. My name is Julie. Good night, everyone.
All right, Mike, and you're going to be ready for check-ins here in just a minute, I'm guessing, as you're catching up with those YouTube.
I think I've got all the YouTube ones caught up.
Thank you for those tips, Julie, and we will get those on the YouTube channel, isolated from the net. If you wanted to go back and hear just that portion that Julie provides, there's a playlist on the YouTube channel of all the Julie's Tips episodes that have aired so far. And there's some good tidbits of information there, especially for new users, which is what that segment is geared towards. And sometimes folks just need a reminder on some certain things that Julie likes to talk about as well.
That's right.
You all caught up there with the YouTube stuff?
I am. All caught up.
So I don't need to buy any more time?
Nope. I think we can take more RF check-ins.
So for folks on YouTube and folks on RF, it is just me and Mike this evening. So we are running a short staff tonight. So please, with the check-ins, let's go nice and slow. And
we'll do our best to get everybody.
Yeah, we'll do our best to get everybody. And the YouTube comments may be a little bit delayed versus normal because it's just me and Mike. So we're doing the best we can. Let's go for
We're still going to have a good time.
Yeah, we're still going to have a good time. That always happens. But let's go to Zello first. Any additional check-ins from Zello, please call Net Control now.
This is WQUV 439, Atlanta 780, Houston and Austell. Check me in and out, please.
This is WRZA 947, Atlanta 342, David incoming, checking in and out.
Did you catch that?
I think it's Columbus 40.
Yeah, that checks out.
I think you got all your Zellos because now we're in the flagship in Columbus at 2.
Were any of those just Houston?
I'm pretty sure it was just Houston. So we got to start with YouTube acknowledgments and then carry on.
Mm-hmm. Let her rip.
All right, let's start by acknowledging our YouTube check-ins. We had Larry, our friend from Colorado, on YouTube. By default, he is in and out. We have Rome12, Mark, also on YouTube, which makes him also in and out. I have a guest from WSFR246, no name or location, but he's hanging out with us tonight in the YouTube channel. I have Miko, our guest from upstate New York, on YouTube. Columbus25, which would be Peter in West Point, is on YouTube. Gainesville 43, David in Auburn, also on YouTube. Then we get to our Zello with Atlanta 780, Houston and Austell is in and out. I have Atlanta 342, David incoming, also in and out. And I had, it was a rough copy, but I pulled Columbus 40, John, off the Columbus machine, but we didn't hear if he was in and out. Based on the signal, John, I'm going to need a little bit better than that if you're going to participate tonight. That was tough pulling you out of that static. Are you ready for additional ones? For any repeater other than flagship. Flagship, please hold your traffic. Any repeater other than flagship, please call Net Control now.
This is WSDT 898 Atlanta 622 Marvin and Covington. I'll be in and out.
This is
WR303, Chattanooga 30, Jonathan in Hickson, Tennessee, checking in and out. Good evening, gentlemen.
You see Tim's comment?
All right, we're going to go ahead and acknowledge what we have from that last round. We have Atlanta 622, Marvin in Covington is in and out. Chattanooga 30, Jonathan in Hickson also in and out. And Atlanta 906, Mark Mark is normally in Woodstock, but is a YouTube check-in, so he will be in and out with us tonight. All right, with nothing else heard from the rest of the network, we're going to open it up to any repeater, anywhere, including flagship. Please call Net Control now.
This is WRTT 356, Atlanta 1300 1300. Justin from Swanee checking in and out.
This is WRQ G806, Atlanta 557, by way of relay, Atlanta 558, checking in and out, floating in the Caribbean.
I think I got doubled. This is Atlanta 419, WREX 441, Jason incoming, checking in and checking out. This is
R451, Gainesville 417, William, Auburn, Georgia, checking in, checking out.
This is Atlanta 11, WRVG 415, John and Kenton. Please check me in and out.
WRZV 748, Tony in Canton, check me in, check me out.
WRZ V 408.
I heard 478.
478, okay.
I think.
And he was in and out? Is that what you heard?
Yep.
Okay.
Net control, Atlanta
Atlanta 1150.
Net Control acknowledging Atlanta 1150. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. The guest, the line 57, WRZV, that's 748, Atlanta 1150.
Oh, okay. I see it.
Okay, very good, Tony. Thank you for correcting that. We kind of bobbled it, typing it in, and we weren't really sure what we had. So thank you for that correction, and we got that fixed. It should be on your screen here momentarily. While I have the key, I'll go down and acknowledge the others that we heard. We heard Atlanta 1300, Justin and Swanee is in and out. Atlanta 557, I believe he said he was floating on a raft in the Caribbean, so that makes him in and out, as well as his better half, Atlanta 558. Denise, I'm assuming he took her with the Caribbean.
She's probably floating too.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're together, but maybe not. Then we have Atlanta 419, Jason incoming is in and out. Gainesville 417, William and Auburn also in and out. Well, matter of fact, the rest of the list is in and outs. We have Atlanta 11, John in Canton. Atlanta 1150, Tony in Canton. Chattanooga 190, Cliff checked in with us on YouTube tonight. And we have a guest from WRKV 579 on YouTube. And we have Josh tuning in with us on YouTube as well. Dallas 64 made it in right under the buzzer.
Right under the buzzer, Josh.
So
got you in there.
We got everybody in there. We've gone through the roster. So, Mike, what are we talking about tonight?
Oh, we'll be in the holiday season, shopping season, gift buying season, Santa Claus. I think we're talking about what makes for good gifts for radio nerds.
Well, that can be a double-edged sword, I suppose, because there's so many different avenues and rabbit holes. Excuse the pun, David and Lisa. But there's so many different rabbit holes you can go down with radio in general, between HF and digital modes and nodes and hotspots, and of course GMRS is a whole different side of things and requires different radios and different antennas, and so there's a lot to unpack there as far as gift ideas for radio people. I suppose with any hobby, whether it be golf or firearms or radio or whatever, it's hard to just buy a one-size-fits-all gift and, oh, he's into radio, here, I got you this. Well, that's not always the case with any hobbies, really, even golf. I need a new golf club. Okay, well, are you left-handed, right-handed? How long does...
a driver, a putter?
Right, exactly. So radio, it can be very similar in that aspect of you don't know which way to turn when you're trying to buy something for a radio nerd. So we thought we'd talk about that kind of thing tonight, and doesn't necessarily have to be specifically to GMRS. So if you're into amateur modes and you want to talk about some gift ideas for those kinds of things, that's what we're all about tonight, is gift ideas for radio in general.
Any radio service.
Any radio service. Let's go ahead and break, and I'll come right back to you, Mike, in a second. To start the conversation, I'm going to pick on you a little bit, Mike.
Okay.
Because I know you got some radio projects going, and just to prove my point, you're in the middle of that tower project at the house.
I would love if Santa would bring me that tower.
Well, not necessarily bring you the tower. It'd be even better if he put it up
If
for
he'd
you.
set it up, yeah.
With the sleigh and the reindeer and
Right.
stuff. Yeah, that'd be...
Then I wouldn't have to rent a crane.
Right. So, I mean, and that's just to prove my point. I mean, Mike's in the middle of a tower project, and there's a whole different wish list, so to speak, to go along with the tower, more so than just a radio to set on the desk in your office.
Yeah, that's right. There's all sorts of cool HTs and full-size rigs and mobiles and things that I look at and like, but the tower's the priority right now.
And understandably so, because the higher your antenna, the more fun it is when you have the contacts.
Well, that's right. Well, just being able to make contacts.
Right.
I'm down in a hole, and So getting out has always been a challenge, if not impossible, depending on the time of year.
Which, in that same token, has encouraged you, so to speak, for lack of better terms, to explore the digital modes on the amateur side, because internet is strong at your house, whereas RF not so much.
Not so much
in the hole you live in. So digital modes are good and convenient, we'll use that term, but you're still relying on internet.
Still got to have internet that occasionally does go down or have its issues out in the sticks where I'm at. But it is fairly reliable. On that side, a couple projects that I've had this year are setting up, I guess, 2 hotspots, both on All-Star. One is a sort of a permanent installation at the house. It's in the closet, and the one is that I haven't gotten over the finish line yet, but that's that portable node, that white portable node. I haven't gotten that one officially over the finish line, but that'll be able to, go in a backpack, work in the truck, use it at a hotel, anywhere that I'm away from the house, whereas the one in the closet is not so portable.
Right.
It uses that ICOM radio. So
for me, and I...
What are you? Yeah, I was going to say, what are you working on?
Well, I was just going to say, let's go ahead and break. For me, to some degree, like the digital modes with the Raspberry Pi based setups, whether it be a hotspot or All-Star node, whatever you want to call it, for me, the fun is in the build, right? Once you're putting it together, getting it to function, and then I kind of get bored with it. It's like, well, the fun part's over now. I know how to talk on the radio.
Yeah,
so
you made it work.
To some degree, I mean, for me, that's where the fun is the fun is in the build.
Yeah.
And then once it's up and running, then it's just talking on a walkie-talkie, basically. You're only talking to the next room over, and then the internet's doing the rest.
Right, on half a watt.
Right, so that's, I guess, part of where radio differs from most hobbies as far as, the fun is in the build and the experimental part of it, where golf is golf, right? There's a fixed set of rules that you have to abide by if you want to play the game, and there's certain clubs that are used for the game, whereas with radio, there's so many different avenues you can go down, and everybody likes to have their little niche or specialty in radio itself with Earth, Moon, or digital modes, whatever.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless, and with that comes more gadgets and goodies you got to buy to make all those different modes work.
That's right. On the opposite end of the digital modes, where you're half a watt on an HT, is DXing or even just regional invis stuff on the amateur side, where you're trying to talk hundreds of miles.
That's right.
Or potentially thousands of miles, and that's a totally different type of build.
Or bounce the signal off the moon with EME.
Or hit the space station with a dual bander.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we have GMRS, which is different radios, different antennas, and there's different ways of building that out as well.
That's right. That's right. Taking advantage of the network and the repeaters in some instances, but also testing your simplex footprint and what you can do on low power modes.
Or where. Some people with Dana's simplex, or Jonathan too for that matter, with the simplex on Friday night nets, they like to get in their car and set up go rigs. I think you've done that yourself a few times. Set up the antenna in the bed of your truck and find new places and new honey holes where that's my sweet spot. I got to go back there. It works better than the house kind of thing. So
it's a chore up where I'm at, and Dana and Jonathan can both vouch for this. I try to get in on those simplex challenges, and only every once in a while am I at all successful, or even close to successful. Most of the time I'm not.
But I guess for you, the fun is in the try.
It is. The fun is in, well, I agree with your point earlier. The fun is in the build. This year has been a year of learning new things for me. And so learning how to develop with Raspberry Pi to make nodes, that's been fun. I can nerd out over that. But then the try, when it's not a digital service, the try is the fun. You got to jump in the truck. You got to load up your stuff. You got to tether the 20-foot antenna in the back of the truck, and that's the fun. So.
All right.
Well, good stuff. Should we go to the top of the log?
Let's go to the top of the log. We got a big chunk of in and outs at the top, but
we should break first.
Okay, let's go ahead and break.
Do we want to run through the in and out or the outs?
No. All right, so the first check-in we have at the top of our list is going to be Chattanooga 248 Matthew in Old Fort, Tennessee. Matthew, what ideas do you have for radio nerd gifts for this holiday season, or what's the new front and center radio project that would require a gift for you this year?
This is Chattanooga 248. I really just meant to check in and out, but evidently my tongue didn't work the same as my brain was trying to do. But
Happens to all of us.
I'll throw in a plug for a company I'm not affiliated with, but it's made all these radio mounting projects, not only radios, but just about anything. Boat electronics, radios, even bicycle mounts. It's a Ram Mount company. They've got mounting solutions for about everything. And let me break. And all that stuff's quality stuff that I've seen, and it makes it look a lot cleaner than just things hanging around everywhere. And with that, I'll go ahead and check out of the net and get back to you, Chattanooga 248 WSFT 846.
All right, very good, Matthew. Thanks for hanging out with us, and that's a whole different surface we didn't even scratch with our intro. There is mounting and however means you're going to secure your radio in a mobile install, or even in your home if you're going to rack mount it or whatever. There's mounting obstacles that you have to overcome, whether it be for limited space or sometimes mounting becomes a requirement for heat. There's all different scenarios where mounting becomes a challenge in different applications. So good point, Matt, and we'll go ahead and move on to the next person on our list is Atlanta 138 Robert. Robert, I believe this makes 2 in a row you have been in on, and that's a real treat for us because usually you're in and out. So Robert, what do you got for gift ideas for radio nerds for this holiday season?
Well, personally, anything electronic. I personally need an antenna, or sorry, not an antenna, a tower, but not a tall one, but shorter. But anything electronic, radios are always a good thing. You can never have enough radios. I can't think of anything else. Mostly electronic.
Solid answer. Go ahead. Solid answer is what I was just saying to Jeff. I agree, Robert. Anything electronic, I can find a use for it. Plugs into a wall. If it runs off of a battery, we can make use of it.
Well, you kind of geek out with the electronic stuff.
That's right.
You got to have that new fancy phone with the flip screen. And
I wear the nerd badge with pride.
Yeah, you're like the Geek Squad of Radio Shack.
Yeah, the Geek Squad of Radio Shack. Okay.
I'm going to merge those two to give you that title.
Yeah. All right, I'll take it. Although I'm not as advanced. I'm still very much in the learning. So it's one of those don't do as I say, because I'll probably lead you astray.
Fair enough.
But I'll try, and I'll have fun doing it.
All right. Moving along down the list is going to be...
Well, hold on real quick.
Okay.
Robert was looking for an antenna, and I wanted to hear what kind of antenna he was looking for.
Oh, I missed that part. I'm sorry. Robert, what kind of antenna are you looking for or needing?
Well, mostly I'm trying to do like a not a super tall tower with 2 antennas on it. Because I've got this old Motorola police repeater I've got here.
Oh, very cool.
Well, that's very cool, but that also brings you into a couple different rabbit holes as far as gift ideas. The tower, and then you got a duplexer and Heliax, and grounding to make that repeater work properly. So sounds like you got a lot on your Santa Claus list this year.
If Santa Claus brings him Heliax, that's huge.
Yeah.
I would love Heliax.
Wouldn't we all?
Especially a nice big spool of it. Robert, we think alike.
So, very good, Robert. Did you have anything else to share about your upcoming project or your wish list for that project?
I got lots of projects. I've got car projects, I've got radio projects, all kinds of electronic projects.
That sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think we could all rattle off a big list of our to-do list for projects, and maybe projects we've started and stuff got in the way, like life or weather or whatever delays. And
other projects.
Yeah, other projects that became more priority versus the project we already started.
Project ADHD.
Yep.
Guilty as charged. Justin had a good note in the comments. If Santa Claus does not bring you or cannot bring you Heliax, polyphasers are a good gift idea that'll fit in a stocking.
Yes, they will, which is also very critical to a base station or a repeater setup. So
that's right.
Another good point.
That's right.
All right, Robert, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, and glad to see you made 2 in a row on the check-in list. I'm sure you're hating missing band practice, but we love that you're hanging out with us. Moving along down the list, we have Noonan120 Carmen or is it Carmen or Carmine?
Carmine.
I don't want to mispronounce that. He's over in Fayetteville. Carmine, what do you have for your wish list for radio nerd gift ideas?
Everybody's starting out. DL or mobile/base station. They're going to buy one. Might as well buy an 1800. That's the way to go.
He's talking about a mobile rig, isn't he?
Yeah, he's talking, or you could use it as a base as well. But
oh yeah,
Carmine, why don't you elaborate for those who may be listening about that 1800 specifically? Elaborate a little bit about what an 1800 is, maybe what brand and what it can do for you, where you got it, those kinds of things. Because just a Google search of 1800 could lead people astray. So why don't you dial it in for us for maybe folks who don't know what you're talking about?
Roger that. I'm talking about the Kenwood Model 1800 mobile/base. Can be used as a base for the power supply. It's 45-watt radio. Mine does about 52 watts from as is, as it comes from the factory. It's a high quality, professional build radio. If you're gonna go that route, before you buy 2 or 3 other ones, I would recommend, if you got the money, spend a little extra and get the Kenwood 1800. I bought it from the Hobbit down there in Noonan, and I've had it's been a game changer. I had a Wilson. I still have that one put in the vehicle, 1000G plus, which ain't bad. I didn't have any bad luck with it. But this right here, the audio is a lot cleaner than that Chinese radio. Like I said, I'm not knocking it because that's what I had started out with. I'm in Fayetteville, and I can hit on high power. I can hit the flat from Fayetteville, which is 72 miles. That says anything. And I'm on it right now. I got the desk microphone that goes with it, the Kenwood microphone that goes with it. Bought that from the Hobbit store. And as far as a base antenna, the Comet 712 is a good one. It's 9 dB gain. Well, if you got the money and you're able to, I would buy. I like the Kenwood. Okay? There's nothing wrong with the other one, but some people have a certain budget they got to work on. That I understand. So that's my trial and tribulation. Like I said, these radios here, they come, if you buy it from the Hobbit, they come pre-programmed with all the repeaters. Let me break. They come pre-programmed for all our repeaters. repeater towers, all the simplex channels, and everything that goes along with it. If you got a problem with it, Gary's going to take care of it. He's an authorized franchise for sales and service. Can't go wrong.
Well, very good, Carmine. That's the Kenwood NX 1800, and got that from Hobbit Communications, pre-programmed and ready to go for our network. So it's
a great rig.
It is a great rig.
It really is.
And they sound good. There's plenty of accessories and ways to mount them if you're going to use it for a base or a mobile or whatever the case may be. So they are great radios. They are Part 90 certified, commercial grade radios, so they can take a licking and keep on ticking. So
yeah, they'll last, I don't know, forever.
Longer than we.
Yeah, yeah. And they have a 3-year warranty.
Right from Kenwood, yep.
And I think, and I don't have a script in front of me, but I think it's in this gift buying season. There's a discount right now, isn't there?
I believe there is. Yes.
I think free. If Atlanta 60 is listening, and I get this wrong, don't. I guess I'll be in trouble. I'll hear about it. But I think it's free shipping, and is it? There's a % off.
I think it's 10.
Is it 10? Okay. I think
there is a post about it on Facebook, but like you said, we don't have it in front of us right this second.
I think it's 10% off for North Georgia GMRS members and free shipping through the holidays.
Right.
Essentially, through the end of the year or thereabouts. And that Comet 712 that Carmine mentioned, probably my favorite antenna.
Mine too.
For a base, I think it's, how tall is that one?
It's 10 foot 2 inches, I think.
Yeah, yeah. If you need a base to reach out a little ways, high gain, omnidirectional, in my opinion, there's nothing better than a 712.
It's a little tricky to put them together when you first get it. Just kind of a pattern, so to speak, or order of operations of putting it together to get the elements to stretch out inside the tube. But
yeah,
if you get it put together right, I haven't found a base antenna that'll beat that 712 yet for GMRS.
No, it sweeps real low. You know, it's not uncommon to see 1.2 or less. Yeah, that's a good one.
Mine's been up in the air on my 60-foot tower for 5 years now.
Really?
Still going.
Yep, that's a good one. Carmine's got a great setup. An NX 1800 base station, a Comet 712. I don't know that it gets better than that.
And he was talking to us on Flagship from Fayetteville just now.
70-something miles, he said.
Right.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
So,
all right, Santa, hope you're listening.
Are you talking about for you?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind.
You got way up more other irons in the fire first.
I do. Like I said, I need that Heliax and some polyphasers
and we were just talking
rebar.
We were just talking about a whole different
less fun stuff.
A whole different set of hobbies and projects and Santa wish lists.
Oh yeah.
Earlier today.
Oh yeah.
That had nothing to do with radio. So.
That's right.
You better hope you're a good boy.
I don't know that I have been. I got a big wish list.
All right.
Thanks, Carmine, for tuning in tonight and sharing your feedback.
Next on our list, which she said she may have been out of the vehicle, but we'll go ahead and call on her because she is next, is Atlanta 849, Pamela. Pamela, if you are in the car and able to respond, what's on your radio nerd wish list, or do you have any questions regarding a radio nerd wish list, maybe for your significant other?
Okay, gentlemen, yes, I am here, Miss Pamela, and I'm sitting in the car just outside my garage. You read me okay?
Yes, ma'am. You got a tiny little bit of static in there with you, but you are well over the top of it. We can understand you. Go ahead.
Okay, great. First, because I missed part of the beginning, did Justin get to you my announcement for the Peachtree Corners Brunch Bunch, and do you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am, we did get that, and Mike read that off at the beginning of the program about your lunch bunch at JR's Log House. Trying to find it in my script here. When did you say that was? This coming Saturday? Is that what you said?
I've got my script up. Let me see if I can...
Well, regardless, I don't have it right in front of me at this minute, but we did read off earlier in the program about your lunch at JR's Log House. Yes, ma'am.
December 21st.
Okay, great. I had a little problem getting it over there. Anyway, yeah, it's the 21st. Okay, great. Well, as far as a list for something, I never thought I would probably consider myself a radio nerd. I never thought that would be in my vocabulary, but I suppose you would call me a senior radio nerd now. But we've been trying to find me a Bluetooth portable that I can actually carry in my purse when I'm not too far from the house in a store, if anything came up, to communicate. But we can't seem to find one that'll code 10 watts or better. They're all like 5 to 8, which just won't get it. So we've ordered a few, sent back a few, experimented. I think he's got one, I don't know which one right now, that he wants us to try out tonight. So if anybody has any ideas or thoughts to try that, it would be greatly appreciated. Let me break. We have one here at the house that we use, within 30 feet of the radio. That's all right, but as far as getting out somewhere else to have a radio, we don't know yet. So that's kind of our need. He's got, I think, everything else covered, I hope. Gosh, between the amateur side and this side, that's quite a lot. I'll break and go back to you for just a moment.
Bluetooth portable?
Well, the catch I think you're going to struggle to find there, Pamela, with a portable that does much more than 5 watts, honestly, like as a meter on a bird meter, is you're going to be limited by the battery. So a portable's typical 5-watt output is because of the battery. Number one, we have limited capacity in that small battery for a portable radio. But the other side draw to that is if you're going to start pushing out much more than 5 watts, you're going to be pulling that battery down real fast, which is then going to make it get hot. So there's reasons as far as engineering goes as to why most portables are right around that 5-watt mark. But the other thing is, too, if you're going to start getting over 10 watts, do you really want a portable pushing out that much RF power right in front of your face, which is probably not a good idea either.
No.
So there are specific reasons as to why most portables are that 5-watt marker. There are some that I've seen advertised for 8 watts or 9 watts or higher, but I've yet to see that in real life and come to fruition actually be a true 8-watt radio or a true 10-watt radio. I think that's more of a marketing gimmick than anything.
Yeah, I think so. They're chasing the, having the bigger numbers on the Amazon ad or whatever it is.
Right.
Because realistically, the difference in reach between something that's putting out 5 watts and even if you get one that's putting out 7 or 8 is negligible, if any.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's one S unit requires a double in power.
To double the power, yeah.
So in one S unit by the human ear is, if you're not making the repeater at all, you might tickle and activate the repeater, but you're still not going to be understood.
Yeah.
So the difference there, Pamela, I think you're chasing semantics at that point. 5 to 8 watt is not going to make that huge of a difference. If
no, I would, and they have their mobile rigs set up, Pamela and Ernest, but I would focus on an antenna over more power.
Right. And there are some pretty good Bluetooth capable portable radios, but if you're chasing that number, I don't think you're going to find one that's reliable Bluetooth and much more than 5 watts. I'll let you respond to that and see if you have any additional questions.
About the wattage, the battery, and all, yeah, we've kind of figured that one out. But so I guess I'm just going to have to hope that the cell phone will be near him if I need to call him or something, or I just have to wait to get back in the car. But we just thought we'd explore that and see what was out there. And I agree with what you're saying about the heat, and getting too warm and all that technical stuff you said makes a lot of sense. So I appreciate your feedback on that. I kind of wanted to give a little shout out to some of the newer guys that I've heard on the radio that I've actually spoke with, and that would be that I can't believe we're hitting 1,100, almost 1,200 is that wonderful number of members. That's great since we've been doing it for over 2 years. Never thought it would be, but the 1,100 guys have been really great out there, and they're really good to hear them out there. So all these new people out there, glad they're there, and hope they'll hang in there, and hopefully we'll get to meet some of them at some of the functions. So everybody have a great week, and enjoy the net, and I'm going to go inside and catch stuff, and appreciate your patience, and back to the net.
All right, very good, Pamela. Thanks for tuning in with us tonight, and
she did touch on a topic that I think is exciting. Almost 1,200 members, and I pulled up the membership roster just now. We're at 1198,
and the interesting part about that number to me is that's what Gary goes by, because that is 1,198 memberships.
Right.
But that is not necessarily how many members we have, because like your family, like my family, we have multiple TAC numbers and members on that one membership.
Yeah, so if you take all the TAC numbers, that number for us right now, our current standing is 1,685 TAC numbers.
Almost 1,200 memberships and almost 1,700 TAC numbers.
Almost 1,700 TAC numbers.
So
that's huge.
Yes, that is big.
It's huge.
And what I'm looking at right now, that looks like the largest to date by over 100 in years past.
Yeah.
So another milestone pretty much, it seems like, every year with membership numbers.
That's exciting.
But we'll see where it goes. We still got just shy of a month left before year end of 2024. I'm guessing we're going to break 1,200 easily.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Probably a good time to mention, if you're listening, we had a couple guest check-ins tonight. If you're listening and you're not a member and you sign up today, tomorrow, the next day, your membership now covers you for the rest of this calendar year, but also next year as well.
Yeah, so if you sign up for a membership tonight, you are good till December 31st, 2025.
2025.
So you're getting 13 months for the price of 12.
That's a good deal.
Right. So there is that, and while you touched on that, I'm going to mention this because it was mentioned to me today, and I saw it on Facebook, so a couple people have had this issue. If you're having trouble logging into the website to renew your membership, be sure and email Gary at NGGMRS.org. Apparently some folks are having trouble with the forgot my password, please send me a reset. That seems to be flaky for some people. So if you find yourself in that situation and cannot log into the website to renew your membership, send Gary an email. Don't just let it ride, because it's not going to heal. It's not going to go away. So be sure and send Gary an email, and you guys can get that squared away to go ahead and renew your membership before, I guess, before the first of the year with the purge of members.
Yeah. I have this thing where I don't really forget my passwords because I don't remember them to begin with. The computer does. I hit the save my password button.
Well, that's...
So I don't know my password for most things.
All well and good unless your computer forgets.
True. And then I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Let's break.
All right. All right. So I think... Is there anything else we need to cover membership related?
Don't let your membership lapse. Your TAC number could be reassigned.
Oh, I know what we needed to mention.
Okay.
So renewal is good till December 31st. And then as of January 1, Gary starts the purge of people who did not renew.
Yes.
If you have some kind of hardship where you would like to stay on as a member with North Georgia GMRS, but have a hardship and just can't do it at the moment, send Gary or Justin an email and explain the situation, and you guys can work it out and talk it out, and I'm sure a resolution can be come to. But if you do not send an email, as of January 1, Gary is going to assume that you do not want to renew. So if that is a problem for you that you would like to stay on, be sure and send that email and make that contact so that things can be discussed and we don't just assume that you no longer want to be a member.
It's a good point. It's a good call out.
So I think we covered everything membership-wise.
I think so.
We put all that in front of Dana, but...
I bet he's still listening.
I bet Dana's still listening, unless he's taking one of his naps. Those little naps, they pick him right up.
Well, let's find out.
Dana, you still with us tonight?
Well, it was a close one. Nodded off a couple of times there, but no, I got this great easy chair or office chair, and all I got to do is lean back and shut my eyes and start listening, and next thing you know, I'm off into la-la land. Let me break. Anyway, good evening, Jeff. Good to hear you, and good old Mr. Mike there. If somebody wants to give me a nice gift, a nice Kenwood 890S would be a very nice stocking stuffer. And if you can't get your hands on one of those, then not like I'm asking a lot here, but a nice Yazoo FD710 would do just as well. Let me break. I would give Mount Olympus some nice renovations, let's say, and Mike, after you get yours up there, I would probably have to talk to you about what it cost and what you had to do to get that tower up. So wouldn't mind having one of those either. Anyway, that's about it for me, guys. Appreciate everything you do, and back to net control.
Well, Dana, after listening to that wish list you rattled off for Santa Claus and listening to Mike's Mustard with Mike instead of Ketchup with Kate earlier in the program, I'm going to say that you're going to have to find a neighborhood child 2 weeks from Monday, which would be December 16th, and have that child check into the Santa Claus net on your behalf.
Yes.
It sounds like that's what I heard out of that whole spiel with your wish list between the Kenwood and the Yazoo. I think you're going to have to find somebody to talk to Santa for you.
I was looking up that Kenwood, and man, that is a nice rig.
Well, I mean...
I don't know that it's going to fit in a stocking, though.
No, I guess you'd have to have a big stocking.
It'd be a big stocking.
And
maybe
a big mantle.
Like a pillowcase, yeah. Yeah.
So... Dana, I think that's going to be your wish list. I mean, in the next couple of days, we're supposed to get some warmer weather. Maybe you can find a youth member that you can talking to Santa Claus for you on the 16th. If you can,
there you go.
Get him on the radio, and he can give Santa his own wish list, but maybe slip a little side note in there on your behalf.
Slip in that Kenwood receiver.
What do you think about that, Dana?
Well, who knows? I just might have to be good to myself here and not both of those items, but at least one of those items might make it to my counter here. Although I would have to get a whole new radio desk and everything. You all seen pictures of what I got now, and I'm resorting to have to go up instead of out, because I'm running out of desk space. But yeah, I just might take the plunge.
Well, Dana, if it's any saving grace to you, or if it makes you feel better, you can go ahead and get yourself something nice, and I would happily wrap it for you. So if you go ahead and order yourself, make sure you pay for it, but have it shipped to my house, and I'll wrap it and put a little From Santa tag on it and bring it to your house.
Can we play with it first?
You weren't supposed to say that.
Never mind, Dana. We're not going to play with it.
Yeah,
absolutely not going to play with it.
We're just going to wrap it and put the Santa name tag on it.
That's right. That's right.
So we'll go with that.
Good stuff.
Don't some places offer the free wrapping? So that's a service we could provide for Dana.
We could.
But he just has to make sure he pays for it.
That's right.
Yeah. All right.
You pay for it, ship it to Mount Waleski. We definitely won't open it.
Or play with it.
Or play with it at all.
But we'll wrap it and put the Santa name tag on.
Yes. Done.
Okay. Check.
All right, Dana.
That's the plan. Text me and I'll send you my address and we'll go with that plan.
Fantastic.
Next on the list we have Toccoa 58, Aiden and Demarest. Aiden, what is on your wish list for Santa Claus as far as radio projects is concerned?
Well, I'm thinking about some base station antennas because I'm going to be getting I'm going to be taking my technician's test on Sunday. Hopefully I'll pass. But also thinking about getting maybe some books. I know it's kind of nerdy, but some books to help me get my general and amateur extra license. And also Yaesu FT891 would be pretty nice.
That would be nice. That's another winner.
Well, he's
got a good wish list, too.
He's got a good wish list, but he kind of poo-pooed himself, and I want to touch on that for a second. You had mentioned that the books for passing your general and your extra were kind of nerdy, but that's the topic of the whole net tonight, so...
You are among friends. Aiden.
Yeah, you are among friends. It's a safe space. No judgment.
That's right.
But I definitely think some studying is in order, whether it be in a paper book format or hamstudy.org, any of those study guides, especially for the general and the extra. I mean, you got to put some time in to get those, to get your free salad.
That's true. That's true. I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
I used Craig Buck's books for the technician and the general, and I've bought the one for extra. I just haven't made it past the first 2 chapters.
You got to get with John Wolf.
Well, and I got John to get the same Craig Buck extra book.
Yeah, but you got.
But I don't know if he's any further than me.
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah,
There's no what do you call it? Motivation and peer pressure to move
Atlanta
along.
810, if you're not at wrestling still and you're listening, we got to get back on that project, my friend.
And with that, if you are listening, Atlanta 810, we'd like to come back and see if you are available on the radio. Give us some more details about the Santa Net.
Oh, yeah.
So no pressure, but if you are out of wrestling, we'd like to hear from you about the Santa Net and what you heard from Bernard, which is the head elf.
The head elf, that's right. He mentioned the Yaesu FT891. Great HF mobile rig, 100 watts. I love that radio. If you end up with that, I'd love to hear your experience with it.
And he did mention base station antennas for the amateur side as well. And I suppose like we opened the program with, there's so many different avenues as far as amateur radio goes. I mean, are you just trying to do 2 meter 440 or trying to do HF? There's more antennas than there is ice cream flavors.
That's true.
So it's going to depend on what you're into.
Let's see what he's into. What sort of base station are you working on setting up?
Well, I'm thinking of getting a few antennas actually. 10-meter antenna, and then also a 2-meter antenna. Also, the books. I'd like to say about the books. The ham radio prep books are really good. That's what I've been using to study. I got the technician book from the stand at the ham radio prep stand at Stone Mountain Ham Fest.
Yeah, ham radio, I understand ham radio prep rather has a very good program. I didn't use that one personally, but I understand their study guide and their study program is very good as well. I did use the Craig Buck. Is it Craig Buck? I know his last name is Buck.
Yeah, Craig Buck. Yeah, Craig.
That's the one I had used for my extra, and then I did hamstudy.org for my technician and my general.
Okay.
Different methods.
Yes. I think the only... how we could sum that up is Craig Buck's books, and this is not a paid endorsement. I'm not sponsored. I don't get anything, but Craig's books focus on teaching you the basics and then the answers, and so you're studying to take and pass the test.
Yes. Not
Is that a good way to say it?
Not necessarily absorb the material. You're studying to pass the test.
Right.
And there's different schools of thought on this, so don't anybody throw rocks at me. This is just my opinion. I equate it to, it's like trying to get your driver's license,
Yes.
but you've never seen or touched or know anything about a vehicle, which is kind of how the ham radio side of things makes you test. You have to absorb the material, pass the test, before you can even touch the radio. Well, for people like me specifically, I mean, I'm a blue-collar worker, hands-on kind of person. I learn by doing.
Yeah.
So you can give me a book that's 2 inches thick and explains it in detail so that a 5-year-old can understand it. That's great, but I'm not going to absorb that material. I'm a hands-on, show-me-by-doing-it kind of person.
Right.
And there's multiple different ways people learn, and I feel like that's a shortcoming for amateur radio, that for those hands-on people, you're not going to learn by reading a book, unfortunately. And I hate to word it like that, but I was guilty of that myself.
No, really. And in this hobby, or in the amateur hobby, it's more learn by doing. And we've got members in this network that are building antennas, and that's a great way to learn something that you're only going to get the basics of in a book, right? You got to measure your wire. You got to do it.
Right. And especially specifically with the extra, I feel like that's true because there's so much information in that extra test between Earth, Moon, Earth, and building antennas and HF and all that other stuff, and all that's well and good. But you can't do any of it till you get the license.
Right.
So you're kind of putting the cart before the horse, in my opinion. And there's varying schools of thought of that, but again, back to the car equation, you can at least get your permit and drive before you have your license.
Yeah.
So there is that, whereas amateur radio, it's not quite that easy.
True.
You know, I'd have to drive an hour to you, but you can't have the radio set up or transmit without me. That becomes a challenge there.
A challenge, to learning.
So I think you're on the right track, Aiden.
I think he's going to pass.
Yeah, if reading the books is how you can learn and absorb that material, then by all means do it. Personally, that didn't work for me. I was a hands-on. I had to study to pass the test, not to absorb all that knowledge. Let's go ahead and break. And then circling back to your antennas, I mean, you got base antennas for 220, 440 if you want a single band, dual band. There's pros and cons to each.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the possibilities are endless on the HF spectrum with dipoles and
coat hanger antennas,
end-fed wires. I mean, the possibilities go on, and I'll submit to Jennifer Tubbs on that one because I think she's built just about every design there is, including one on a piece of paper.
Yeah, she had that folded up in her pocket the last time she was here.
So I will submit to Jennifer on that aspect as far as antennas go, for sure. I mean, there's a couple other runnings, and there's probably a contest going on behind the scenes for antenna builders. I'm sure of it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Between North Georgia GMRS members and their antenna building antics.
Yep. But that's a great point, Aiden. As you're advancing in the hobby and learning, there's a ton of members in the North Georgia group on our Facebook page that are happy. I'm sure they'd love to have you jump in and get involved and learn together.
Yeah.
So,
did you have any closing thoughts, Aiden, or did you want us to go ahead and move on?
No, you guys can go ahead and move on.
Well, good luck on your test. You're going to pass. I believe it. You're going to pass.
Yeah.
That's what Chuck told me the morning that I took my general, and I was not convinced I was going to pass. But Chuck was right.
But you got the free salad.
And then I got the salad. Life is good. So, all right, should we move on?
Plus the story to go with it.
Oh, the story I'll never live down.
That's correct. All right, the last check-in that we have on our list that we're not even sure is correct is Columbus 40 John in Phoenix City. Wow. My tongue is in the way.
Try again.
I'll get it.
That other A state.
Columbus 40, John in Phoenix City, Alabama. John, were you in or in and out? You kind of broke up at the end there and static washed you out, and we didn't get that for certain. All right, we're going to go ahead and mark John as in and out, which brings us to the bottom of our list for ins.
Well, real quick, Ed, our friend Atlanta 557, he was in and out, but he is monitoring from the boat in the Caribbean. He's in the YouTube channel, in the chat rather, and there's some discussion going on about Mesh-tastic that could be good stocking stuff for Christmas ideas.
And that's... I mean,
that would actually fit in a stocking, unlike Dana's giant HF transceiver.
Yeah, I mean...
You get a couple of them in there.
Yeah. And that's... I mean, like we said earlier, you don't necessarily need a license, so that doesn't necessarily fall under your amateur license, but Mesh-tastic is a whole nother rabbit hole to fall down with radio nerd things, because it is using the 900 megahertz radio spectrum to operate, so...
Yes.
Using text messages and data over 900 megahertz, I guess in that aspect, similar to how a cell phone works, only without a tower. It's pretty much peer-to-peer.
You are the tower, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, good point, Ed. That's a whole different project and things to figure out and build and put together. I mean, there's some that are pre-made, but putting them together and programming them and figuring all that out is another
whole different
that's right
project.
Whole different project, whole new fun skill set to learn.
I'll make a quick plug for the North Georgia GMRS YouTube channel. If you are interested in Mesh-tastic, we had a whole Thursday night net on that topic. A lot of good dialogue and conversation from our members that use it, that are interested in it, what they've set up, what they've had success with. If you are interested, you can check out the NGGMRS YouTube channel and find that Mesh-tastic episode to learn more there.
So that would have been season 24, episode 28.
28, so a little better than halfway through the year.
Yeah, so somewhere
July,
August.
July, August. Yeah, look back for that episode in the July or August window.
All right, so that is the end of our ins on our log tonight. So we are going to go ahead and open the floor for any questions, comments, or late check-ins. One at a time, please. Nice and slow. Remember, it's just me and Mike tonight. So, net control, standing by.
Atlanta 250 with a comment.
168 250.
This is Whiskey Sierra Alpha Golf 896. Radio check.
Whiskey Sierra Golf Alpha. What? I'm so bad at phonetics.
Station who just called for a radio check. We are in the middle of a net. Can you go ahead and identify yourself? You quick keyed, so we didn't even catch the first part of your FCC call sign.
I think it was WSGA something, but...
Or SAG.
SAG.
All right, nothing heard with no additional check-ins. Well, I guess we got to acknowledge these YouTube check-ins, and then we'll let Dana have the tail gunner slot with his comment.
Yeah, there we go.
So we had Atlanta 785. Rick in Marietta was YouTube check-in. He's in and out by default, as well as Atlanta 927, which is Connie. Then we had a guest check-in from Scott, WPYW627, WSFL328, which is Dale, also a guest from New York and Michigan, respectively. Then we had Rome27, Terry is also on YouTube tonight with us. And we had Atlanta168, Gregory, also. Gregory was on YouTube also, was he not?
Yes.
All right.
YouTube check-in.
So those are all the YouTube check-ins we have, and we didn't hear any additional RF check-ins. So, Dana, go ahead with your comment for the tail gunner slot, and then we'll go ahead and close it out.
Well, it's just a real quickie concerning your little ad there for the HobbitCommunications.com. It is free shipping on all orders, and through December 31st, an extra 10% off using promo code GMRS.
Very good, Dana. Thank you for pulling that up. I knew I saw it on the Facebook post, but it was lost somewhere, and I couldn't find it on the fly. So thank you for clarifying that, Dana. And that's it. So if you go to Hobbit Communications, 2 B's, 2 T's, and you use the promo code GMRS, you will get 10% off your order, as well as free shipping until December 31st. So pretty much
got what, three weeks left?
3 weeks left,
give or take,
and you have till literally the new year.
Yeah.
So even if you got your Christmas money for Christmas and then wanted to buy a radio with your Christmas money, you could still do that.
There you go.
There you go. Very good, Dana. Thank you for clarifying that, because me and Mike couldn't fumble through and pull it up fast enough while we were talking.
My brain doesn't go that fast right now.
Well, that, and we got other buttons to push and YouTube and all kinds of things. So many screens.
I did get a text that he does have the Comet 712 that we've been raving about on this net and several other nets. We show a lot of love for that antenna, so that is available for you if you're looking to build out a base station.
Very good.
So good to know.
Are we ready?
I think so.
All right. So this concludes the North Georgia GMRS regional net. Tonight we had a total of 66 check-ins, including Mike and myself and our limited net control staff tonight. Net Control will now be returning the repeaters to normal use. Everyone who signed in should sign out. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're a YouTube viewer rather. And remember, comments on the YouTube videos show engagement with the video and help our new channel grow. That's a reminder from last week, so disregard. And just a reminder for membership renewals, you're good till December 31st of 2024, but you can renew now and be good till 2025. So thank you for allowing us to serve as your net control this evening. I hope we didn't fumble the ball too bad with our limited staff. We're actually at half crew tonight, technically.
Yeah, that's right.
Literally.
Less than half.
Right. So we did the best we could. We hope you all enjoyed it.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. Good night, everyone. This is Atlanta 750, WRMR 367. My name is Jeff.
And this is Blue Ridge 63, WRWM 344. My name is Mike.
And we are North Georgia GMRS Network. And we are clear. Good night, everybody.
Good night.